Issue Boy and Gooner in the house, back with another transfer news, Arsenal news episode. Well, ladies and gentlemen, wherein these are the types of videos wherein we talk about the news aspect or related to Arsenal. Of course, if you seek daily news, consider subscribing and make sure you be a part of this channel. Fire in your comments and be and make your presence felt. That is what this channel was made for, to actually make a platform for all the football fans wherein they could come in. Of course, banter is allowed, but you need to understand that you need to express your concerns, you need to express your desires, and make your opinions felt. I mean, you gotta understand that someone is actually listening to it. So, what do we have for you in this episode? In this episode, we're going to talk about Odson Edouard, the reality, what is happening under Odson Edouard. Leicester already have made a bid which is accepted by Celtic. We're going to talk about that, and of course, the one, the only, we are going to talk about some other aspects of the game. Marcel Sabitzer recently opened up about his future, linked with Arsenal, Tottenham, and a barrage of a lot of other clubs. Of course, we are going to talk about Sean Dyche's comments, well, praises for Mikel Arteta. Ashley Cole gives his peace of mind about Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And of course, Hector Bellerin should be sold off, and so should be Cedric Soares. And of course, what opens up to be the exciting future is actually turning into a nightmare for Mesut Ozil. So we're going to talk about literally everything that we got here. So stay tuned for that. Let's just jump into the first news that we got here for you guys. It is Odson Edouard. Now Arsenal are considering a move. We all know that according to HITC Sport, I already mentioned in my previous episodes that Arsenal want to sign Odson Edouard. But here's the problem. Leicester are close to agreeing a fee in the region of £15 million for Odson Edouard, according to Mail Sport. Several clubs have quoted the Frenchman, including Arsenal and Roma, but sources say Leicester will be his next destination. Meanwhile, Arteta says Edu has held some positive talks with striker Folarin Balogun. So that is the reality about Odson Edouard to Arsenal currently. It looks like Leicester might win the battle because, you know, the connection of Brendan Rodgers that he had with Celtic. Odson Edouard could play for him in left mid roles also, because it was a very, very good bond. They share a very good bond, and of course, they would want to replace Jamie Vardy. At some point, you have to, and I'm pretty much sure Leicester are struggling because of that. So Jamie Vardy not firing is Leicester dead, and with James Maddison getting injured, there are lots of problems with their attack. You gotta appreciate and you gotta understand what Brendan Rodgers is thinking. He is visionary. He's looking for the future. Moving on. So Matteo Guendouzi is not expected to play for Arsenal ever again. No, ever again, I'm not saying, because a source at Arsenal has told Footy Insider that Mikel Arteta has made it clear that Guendouzi is not part of his plans for next season. Arsenal have set a £25 million price tag for him and are confident they will find a buyer. Imagine, I still know a lot of Arsenal fans who still believe that Matteo Guendouzi will be back at Arsenal. I would want to say to those guys, it seems far unlikely now, because these news are really, really strong news, and I would really want Matteo to come back with a better attitude. But if it's not happening, it's not happening, and I have to accept it. It is so sad, but I'm speechless actually. Well, got to take those hard decisions in the summer. But moving on, so Mikel Arteta has been given an advice that, sell off the right backs, the duo of right backs, both of them, get out. I mean, that's what Tony Adams wants to say to them. Hey, goodbye, because Hector Bellerin has been linked, we all know, to Barcelona, to Paris Saint-Germain, to literally everywhere other than signing a new contract at Arsenal. So we all know that even the Spaniard is considering a move away from Arsenal. So Adams believes that Arsenal should be doing just that regardless. So Adams thinks that Arsenal should even consider selling both right backs, as he said. According to, he actually spoke to Stadium Astro about it. He says, if you're bringing players in who are a lesser standard, you don't get someone that's less than what you've got. Cedric, is he better than Bellerin? Have you made an improvement there? Take it or leave it. Or are you telling me we need two? Get rid of two and get a good one. That would be the opinion that I would have. You always bring in players better than the ones that you've got, or don't bring them to the club at all. So, well, Arsenal are also linked with Tariq Lamptey. So do you guys really accept Tariq Lamptey at Arsenal? I already asked, but some people have other opinions. They would want Achraf Hakimi, I think, yes. Achraf Hakimi also is a very good option, but I don't know if he's a good fullback. He's a good wing back. I don't know if he's a good fullback. But moving on, so it looks like Ashley Cole identifies Ainsley Maitland-Niles, his biggest problem at Arsenal. So he's on a 6-month loan deal at West Bromwich Albion, but there is some problem with him. So Ashley Cole says that Ainsley Maitland-Niles' biggest problem at Arsenal was his versatility. Yes, the England international has found it tough to break into the Arsenal side on a consistent basis during his time at North London. So he was actually picked up to, he wanted to play as a central midfielder. So, Big Sam said, come on, man. So here we go. Here's what Ashley Cole said. He says, I think the problem he had was he was too versatile for his own good. There were so many players in the squad. He got an injury at right back, left back, central midfield, right wing, left wing back. He could play everywhere. But it's very important for young players to nail down a spot and really make that their own. He feels central midfield is his position. That's where he wants to ply his trade at, and Big Sam has taken a chance on him and given him that opportunity. Now even Big Sam recently stated that Maitland-Niles will be deployed as a central midfielder and that the only reason he would ever play as a fullback with the Baggies would be down to injuries elsewhere in the squad. So Ainsley Allardyce said Ainsley's game is starting to get better and better because he's had many years of nearly always playing at fullback and not playing where he wanted to play. Other clubs have only ever seen him as a fullback. I think even England played him there. He wants to play in midfield for us. He's got the energy to do that and he has excellent ability with both feet. His overall game I'm very pleased with. Hopefully he'll get a bit better. He is going to keep playing midfield for us. So yes, that's what he said. So enjoy, make the most of it. I'm just going to say that. So let's talk about a big Sean Allardyce pinpoints what he likes about Arsenal and he delivers verdict on Arteta and his men. So here's what Sean Dyche had to say. He says, personally, I like that club, a club as big and as powerful as Arsenal have given Mikel Arteta the chance and time. There have been some ups and downs, but they're a very good outfit and a top side. Yep. Apparently that is the only thing that he said. Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? Moving on, so we could talk about the one, the only Mesut Ozil, former Arsenal number 10. Some Arsenal fans won't believe what Mesut Ozil did during Fenerbahce's latest appearance. Now, Mesut was in action for his new side against Antalyaspor in Turkish Super League. Things are not going to plan for Mesut Ozil since his move to Fenerbahce. So he was very excited and he actually wanted to, whatever. So Ozil himself is still yet to register a goal or an assist. Since his arrival, Fenerbahce have lost 3 out of the 6 matches he has been involved in, been knocked out of the Turkish Cup and lost crucial ground to Galatasaray and Beşiktaş in title race. Fener were expected to get their Turkish Super League challenge back on course on Thursday night when they took on Antalyaspor, where Ozil's former club and international teammate Lukas Podolski is currently playing. However, Sarri Lassi-Vetler found themselves a goal down within the space of 12 minutes when Freddie intercepted a Marcel Tisserand ball out from the back to put the visitors up in front. Now the problem is, things actually went from bad to worse to Mesut Ozil because he actually had a nasty ankle injury. Yes, he was stretchered off the pitch. It is as of yet unclear how severe the problem is, but I actually, funny story, I have actually come up with the update about Mesut here. Yes, here you go. So Fenerbahce says that in the MRI of Mesut Ozil, it shows that it is a sprained ankle, partial tears in the inner and outer lateral ligaments of the ankle, and intense edema in the inner outer malleolus bones of the ankle were observed. So that is royally screwed. Yes, he's royally screwed. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks minimum. That's a very nasty injury. Yep. Whew. Very well, so that is how we end the Mesut Ozil saga news that we have for you guys. So let's talk about, do you know what? It's not only Folarin Balogun, Arsenal could lose 4 wonder kids that they have in the under 23 levels. Yes, Gunners are set to have a clear out at under 23 levels this summer, with several others set to follow. Folarin Balogun, yes, that's the problem. So Foreign Balogun is currently set to leave Arsenal on a free transfer this summer after failing to agree a contract extension beyond the end of this season. This is despite the fact that he has continued to excel at under 23 level, scoring 7 goals in 14 Premier League 2 appearances for Steve Bowles' side. Yeah, he's had a wonderful season. But Mikel Arteta says he's quite positive about him, so I don't know how things turn. I don't know what's wrong. So also, Football London have understood that 4 other Arsenal under 23 players will be leaving the club. Number 1 in that list is Ben Sheaf. He's been at the club since 2014, but Sheaf is currently on loan at Championship club Coventry City, with manager Mark Robbins having revealed that there is an obligation for the Sky Blues to buy once his temporary spell ends there in the summer. If certain criteria are met, it's an obligation to buy, says Robbins. So it's not an option to buy, more of an obligation. I think he's an outstanding young talent and we're in a position to sign him at the end of this season. So he might be signed in. Also, 19-year-old goalkeeper Arthur Okonkwo is also set to leave as things stand. Now, Okonkwo has trained with first team on occasion this season, but with fellow under-23 goalkeeper Karl Hein having been named among the substitutes for both Europa League ties against Benfica, it seems as though Okonkwo has no future at the club. Centre-back Joseph Oliveira will also be on his way when his deal runs out at the end of this season. The 21-year-old is currently on loan at Wealdstone, but he understands that his association with Arsenal will come to an end. The biggest and the most hurtful would be this young lad. His youngster's name is Kiddo Taylor-Hart. He might be leaving as well. The 18-year-old has turned heads this season with a string of impressive displays at under-18 levels, where he has 6 goals and 4 assists in just 9 appearances. Despite his young age, Taylor-Hart has been also broken into Steve Bowles' under-23 side this season, and even replaced Martinelli during a Papa John's Trophy tie against AFC Wimbledon. So a lot of promise shown by Arsenal in him as well, that the winger is still yet to have been offered a professional deal and will leave Arsenal when the season ends, as currently the things stand. Now, Zach Medley is also another player that might leave Arsenal. His contract is expiring once his loan spell at Kilmarnock ends. However, Arsenal have an option to extend the deal of the 20-year-old for an extra year, so they can actually pull the plug on that if they want to. Well, talking about some transfer news I have got for you guys is an unreal Marcel Sabitzer has cooled off exit rumors from RB Leipzig. Now, Leipzig midfielder Marcel Sabitzer feels that he's good at his current club. He says as long as he feels he can contend for trophies, he has little reason to leave. Yes, he's been linked and he's not actually eager to chase higher wages elsewhere. The 26-year-old has been linked with a move elsewhere, with the Premier League included among floated destinations. So let's see if Sabitzer actually decides to leave or not. We will see. So with this, we end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you seek daily Arsenal content, best place to be. Consider subscribing. I will see you in the next one. Cheers.